Hi everyone, and welcome to the PCM Integrations How-To series. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a postcard from a template in our design editor. So you can see the template here on the screen, and the first thing I'm going to do to start changing this to my liking is click on this logo image. I'm going to adjust the images first, and then from there I click Change Image, click here to upload, and then I click on Company Logo, click Open, and confirm. Now you'll see I have this logo image in place. I'm going to adjust it here slightly, make it a little bigger, move it over a little bit. Next I want to adjust this other image template, the one with the little man in it. Now this one's going to be a bit more complicated, so I'm going to click Change Image, click to upload once again. I'll select my businessman image, I'll open it, and then I'll hit confirm. And as you can see, this image isn't quite looking how I want it to. It's constrained by what gets called the image frame. And so there's a few things that I have to do to actually adjust it to make it correctly framed as a circular image on this businessman. And to do that, I'm going to go click into the image frame selector on the left-hand side. And I have to essentially get rid of it by clicking this reset frame button. And as you can see, what this has done is created just a small rectangular version of this image, which looks better, but still isn't quite right. So what I need to do is make it a little bigger so that when we reestablish this image frame, it'll look better. So I'm changing the width here to 2. And yeah, that's a bit bigger. So now we can reapply this image frame by under image frame, clicking on the circle shape up at the top under circular frame. And you'll see now it looks kind of like it did before, except this time with the image correctly displayed within the frame. And you'll notice we had to blow this image up to get the frame sorted correctly. So next step is we need to actually make it smaller. So I'm trying 1, but 1.5 looks close to it. I'll try 1.3, and that looks great right there. You'll notice that these things require a bit of trial and error, and don't be afraid to change something because you think it might work. You can always undo it with Command or Control Z, and that's kind of how you learn how to design, is by trying things out and seeing what works. So now that I've sorted out the images, the next step is going to be to adjust all the text on the front of this card. I'm going to have to do fonts and sizing and this sort of thing. So for starters, I'm going to go down here to the Your Name, Your Company section, and we're going to fill that in with some more adequate information. So under your name, you'll see I click on it, then I'll double click, highlight it, and I'll write John Doe. This is the name of this businessman, and then the company name where John Doe works is JD and Associates. So that's looking good. As you can see down there, everything's sorted. And so now I'm going to move to the primary heading here at the top. And there are 3 separate text boxes up here, as you can see. And essentially what I'm going to do is change a word or two and then update the font and the sizing a little bit on all of these 3 text boxes. So for starters, you'll see at the very top of the screen a drop-down that currently says Open Sans. This is our font selector. So I'm going to click on that. That'll pop out the font selector on the left, and I'm going to click on Montserrat. Next, I'm going to adjust the text type by clicking on this normal and hitting medium. You'll see that makes the text thicker. And then we're going to do the same thing for the next one. Change it to Montserrat, change it to medium, actually semi-bold. And then for the third one, similarly to Montserrat. And then we're going to make this semi-bold as well. Perfect. Now you can see that adjusted the width of the text a little bit. So probably going to want to drag that down a little bit. So if you do that, I'm going to shift click on all 3 of them to kind of group them together. And then I'm going to pull it down a little bit. Looks pretty good right there. And lastly on this heading, I really want it to pop. And I think reduce your liability isn't quite what I'm looking for. So I'm going to change it here to eliminate, which as you can see starts to raise some formatting issues, which means I'll have to adjust the width of this text box by clicking on it here, then pulling on this little side icon just like that. All right, so this is looking good. The next step is going to be to adjust the text on the right. On the top right, I'm going to change the font there as well. We're now going to equalize the font on this whole card. So I'm going to click on this free text box, click Montserrat, make it bold, and likewise go down the list of the text boxes and do the same thing. You can see that adjusted the size. Just have to make a quick adjustment there. I'll also make this a little smaller up here. All right, and this last text box, same thing, Montserrat, make it medium. Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, so next we're gonna go to the bottom right and do the same thing. And actually, I think for simplicity's sake, I want this to say call or visit us online. So I'll delete that, and then I'll change the font of all of it. So to Montserrat, bold, same thing with the phone number. Change this, it got a little big with that change. Okay, let's just adjust it. I'll put in the phone number of John Doe's company. There we go. And then the website, we'll change the font, make it bold, and then I will add the website for JD and Associates. And actually, I think we should make that a little smaller as well so it matches the top text box. I also have to quickly change the font for John Doe and JD and Associates here at the bottom, which I forgot to do earlier. Montserrat, bold. Let's do it medium. All right, so now I'm done with all the text, and I actually want to do one more thing, which is change the color of this shape down here at the bottom right. To do that, I'm going to click on it and then scroll up to the top left to this paint icon. Then I'm going to hit yellow as the pre-selected color. All right, and that looks great. So that's an example of how you can take one of our design templates and customize it to your liking to fit maybe your particular aesthetic with your logo, pictures of you, adjust some of the text so that speaks to your product and your needs. You could also do this for the back of the card, but I'm only doing it for the front of the card on this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any more questions, feel free to give us a call at PCM Integrations. But for now, have a good one.